What's up? What's up? Finally online. Shit, sorry for being so late. Let me check the audio first, because after this update, shit could have gone haywire. So let's check the audio on Twitch first. Okay, audio on Twitch seems alright. Now let's check the YouTube. YouTube 1212. Okay. YouTube audio is alright. Alright, we're on. We're on with this shit. Sorry for being so late. And what the hell happened? Sorry for being so late. Windows 11 decided to drop the fucking update on me. I came in, I turned on my PC, then I went to Żabka store in my block, came back thinking that computer will be ready to log in. It turned out it was updating, and it was one of them slow updates. And the update also messed up like my audio interface settings, so I had to deal with that also immediately. And that's why I'm almost 25 minutes, not almost, 25 minutes late. So sorry for that, y'all. Shit was ridiculous. That should be illegal to update your PC without consent. What if I was doing like actually something, you know, like life saving or whatever, and Windows decides to update? I guess that's why when you are doing critical software and hardware, you are using Linux or some handmade OS, right? I swear to God, in 2 years when I will be building a new PC, it will be a Linux PC, or at least a dual boot. Because shit is ridiculous. But enough of shitting on the Windows policy of updates and why it can mess up things for y'all. Let me just drop in. Okay, so enough of shitting on Windows 11 or Windows at all update policies and how they can fuck up things for you. Let's get into what we were set out to do today, which is do more of level design. And let me pull up the trusty notepad. Because I saved some shit in here for me. Yes, I had a bug to fix, couple of things to add to toy box, etc. But what we were doing in here, well, basically I was practicing how to do level design. I read like 2 articles to get my intro into that shit. And what are we doing? Like, let's start from the beginning. I'm making a game here that is all about shooting arrows from a bow. And it's supposed to be like a puzzle game. More like a puzzle game, movement. It's not a shooter, it's not a fast-paced game, etc, etc. And I was adding toys to the toy box. So I was making prototypes, a lot of prototypes. And I added them into the game with some systematic mechanics here and there, right? And I decided to try out actually create the sequence, like the whole level, right? Because I could add toys to the toy box ad infinitum, right? I could do it forever. But at some point I need to start trying to figure out what the sequence could be, right? And in that case, I'm using, it is not a regular like level design as you would encounter in working at the company or working on your own game, because I do not know nearly enough to actually create like bullet point of things that should be known in order for a level designer to work on the game, right? But instead I'm using level design right now as a tool to discover what am I missing in my game and to add more toys to the box to it. The goal is to create like the final goal of this whole prototype of a game, to determine whether it has bones to, you know, chase it further to an actual release, or should I abandon the prototype and deem it like, hey, I learned a little bit about design, I learned a little bit about, you know, level design and other stuff that I wanted to learn, but the game doesn't have any good bones that I could turn into like an actual freaking game. And to check that is to end up with the build of a game with placeholder assets, so everything will be ugly but playable, like a one level, and bring two of my friends here who already agreed to join me on stream at some point, and get their feedback. I expect it to be that the game looks like shit and it doesn't play well, but they at least have the modicum of fun and there are some good bones in there. We'll see if it will happen. So, I'm creating a sequence, right? Let me maybe start once again, as usual, with a little bit reminder of what kind of mechanics do I have in general. The theme of the level and the theme of the mechanics was mostly, of course, using arrows, but flame and burning stuff, right? So, what do we have here? We have flame propagation. If a flame falls onto the flammable surface, it spawns 4 other mini flames. And if there's land on flammable surface, they will grow and try to spawn other flames. Bang. And they can try to propagate, and if it lands on non-flammable surface, it will die out. Right? I also have bubbles. Bubbles can carry things. Like, for example, fire that can be triggered to propagate. Here I have like wooden vines that are flammable. I can shoot at it and burn the altar for Half-Life 3 appearing at some point. You guys got Hollow Knight Silksong, so maybe I'll get my Half-Life 3 at some point. We also have water bubbles that if you shoot at them, they will put out the flames, so I can actually create my own way, my own maze out of the flaming thing, right? What other mechanics I have that I need to use in for my level? A simple thing like when you shoot the red button, the blue window door open, so I can do sequence kinda like this. There was supposed to be a flaming bubble in here that disappeared for some reason. Dexterowski is here. Hello, hello! Sorry for delay. Windows decided to fuck me over. And how are you doing? How are you doing? I hope Windows didn't fuck you over. And an additional mechanic, like more fully realized, I have those spawners of bubbles. I have this wind propeller that I can rotate via rotating cube. And now I can burn everything down to collect my star. Star right now is a placeholder for a real objective, but it will probably be more a game about collecting. And Chaos behaved in a funny way. And I also have the catapult shot. And boom. And yeah, so those are the mechanics that I have to incorporate into the level, and let's see if I can actually create like a bigger sequence to it with it or not. Dexterowski says no because I update my shit overnight. That's smart. That's smart. Yeah, it's funny because usually Windows asks you, right? Like, hey, do you want to update? And you can be like, no, not right now, not right now, schedule for later, right? And I guess I have been saying not right now for such a long time that it decided to just force the update on me. Of course, such forced update comes at the most fucked up moment. So it happened right before the stream. So yeah. And how are you doing besides that? I saw your HUD. Great work with that. I really like how it looks right now. So right now, what are you working on with your project? After you're done with HUDs or HUDs, or actually I don't really know how you should call it. HUDs, HUDs, whatever. After reading some articles about how you should prepare for making a level, I like the idea of creating like a simple flowchart that doesn't delve too much into like an actual detail, space detail of what is where. It's more like the flow of events that you should have. So I created an assumption that this level will be like the third or fourth-ish in my game. It needs to introduce all the mechanics with burning. A couple of mechanics are known. The flow should be that we have a small intro and we are landing in an open area where we can gather like 6 quick stars. And then we can catapult shot our way into areas with more interesting puzzles to solve with the burning mechanics and with the introduction of other shit, right? So yeah, we'll try to enact this plan. Right now we have the intro and we have somewhat of an open area, or at least the first trial. And let me replay this because I don't really remember how it felt. Dexterovsky answers, thank you for the feedback, it helps a lot. I have much more work with it because I had to rebuild everything for it to be a player component. Oh, what do you mean by player component? Dexterovsky says, yesterday I made a stream when I was learning Source 2 Hammer. It's a genius tool. Oh, really? Source 2 Hammer. Damn it, I think it won't be too long before you will be just making a game in Source 2. Somehow you will get a license. I wish they would just... Is Source 2 like license available kinda like with Unreal, or is it like really closed off only for mods and shit? It is a genius tool. Yeah, I wonder like how Source 2 works actually. I never really touched that. And what do you mean with the player component? Like you're changing HUD elements to player component or other stuff in your game to be a player component? Source to Hammer. Actually, let's quickly search for that because I don't even know how it looks. Source to Hammer. Let's open up. Oh my god. The website for Valve developer community loads so slowly. And I just wanted to look at the images. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Source to Hammer. Okay, I don't want no audio. I already see the way that, you know, the faces of... Yes, yes. Brush building. Yep. I wonder how Skite is coming along. Skite, Unreal Engine. How's it going along? Reject non-essential. The newest post was on the first... Oh, okay, so that's the one that I saw already. So no new updates to Skite. The Skite is basically like a Source to Hammer for Unreal Engine. So seems like cool. Because we have modeling tools, but they are working more as the modeling tools rather than the level design tool. And funny thing is, I just realized those bubbles are dying at some point. So I had to have like some lifetime for them. So if I want to use them in a level, bigger level, and I want them to be like constantly better, I have to delete the lifetime on such said bubble. So let's do it immediately, because I just realized leaving the game for a little bit, idling, right? The flaming bubble disappeared, right? And it is a starting flaming bubble. That would be a fuck up in a game, right? So let's quickly fix that. Let's go into the fire bubble. Let's create like a child of it. So it will have the exact same mechanics of it, but it will be infinite. Forehand spawning, right? Forehand placed moments where it should just be hanging around at infinitum, right? Maybe I should create like spawners for that shit or whatever, but you know, we'll deal with that forever. So it will be like 0, I guess. 0 equals forever, and let's see if I change lifetime in script. No, I don't. What about bubble base lifetime? Nope. Lifespan, I should be like, fuck. Lifespan. I do set lifespan for 0.2, but only with collision on arrow projectile, so that's okay. And let's get back to the fire bubble once again. Lifespan, no. So okay, I should have a bubble that will stay forever. And let's place it. Okay, we should be golden. And let's leave it idling, shall we? Because it was 90 seconds lifespan. And let's read the chat quickly. Dexterovsky answered about my question with the component. HUD needs to be player component, because if you want to use emissive materials, you have to use 3D widgets, which are just components. Oh! I didn't know that actually. I never messed with 3D widgets like that. Oh! That's interesting. Huh. That's interesting, really. Dexterovsky says, Skype will get huge update in few days. Oh, okay. I will be sure to check that out. Maybe we should drop a link in the Discord and, you know, geek out over this shit. Seems, yeah. Skype. For all the, you know, let's say games with like classic game design, it might be a game changer, right? Then Dexterovsky continues about Source 2 Hammer. And about Source 2 Hammer, I just started making Counter-Strike 2 map because I just wanted to see how difficult it is comparing to Source 1. Actually, you can export your map to FBX. Oh, really? So, I mean, yeah, because you have a mesh, you're basically editing a mesh. So there could be a workflow. Making a map in Counter-Strike 2 for Counter-Strike 2 with Source 2 Hammer and exporting it as FBX and then importing it into Unreal. I don't know if license allows that. It might be a complete fuck up for license and someone might get sued at some point, but it seems like it might be a workflow. But guys, don't take my word for it. Read the licenses and shit, right? Because I don't know what Valve did with licensing. But it is very interesting that you can export it to FBX. That means a lot. Yeah. That's interesting. And what are your initial like impressions about difficulty? Is it actually more difficult to Source 1 compared to Source 1, or is it actually better or somewhere on par? I wonder. Okay, let's test my level. I need to fix that bug at some point, that half of my vine doesn't burn actually visually. Boom. Yeah. Catapult shot for the win. And yeah, all of my freaking bubbles just disappeared. Okay. Alright, so all of these should be replaced. And there's one thing that I always wondered, and I never really did proper digging into. That also should be a part for like a level designer kit, right? Can I just like click on the yes, replace selected actor with Fire Bubble Infinite? I can replace shit. I never really played around like that with levels, so that seems like a great freaking way. And what? I can click. Will it work for like a couple? Replace selected actors with Bubble Infinite. Yes, it did work. Fucking great. So I already fixed up a little bit my level sequence. Let's try that. Nextarovsky says, it took me an hour to open actual CS2 Armor. Next 5 minutes I was figuring out the UI tools and made finally simple room. It is simple as fuck. Okay, so actually turning on the shit is way more fucking harder than using it. And finding out how to open, etc, etc. Okay. That's great to hear that. I mean, it's not great to hear that it's harder to like set up and shit. But it's great to hear that after you set it up, it's fucking simple. I love that. Okay, let me just fall regularly. Bam. Okay. And let's say that this star is collected. Let's jump. This star is collected. Holy shit. That's not exactly what I wanted. Yeah, but those supposed to represent like simple stars to be collected. Yeah, probably on next stream I will be getting back to toy boxes. Woo! Amazing. Chaos Collision. Woo! Yeah. To toy boxes and adding shit because I already know that I do not have enough tools in my toy box for the full level, and I have like to fix up a couple of stuff, and that will be probably next stream. Today's stream I still want to concentrate on at least trying to build up like some light puzzling. So let's try to solve that small puzzle. I mean, that's not really a puzzle once you know the mechanics. And the funny thing is that I still have this error. But let's say I don't have it, I have to time it correctly, and then I can actually shoot it and collect the star. I should add Niagara to the star, of course, or something that would, you know, trigger player into looking around and being like, hey, there is actually a star to collect there, right? Okay, so that was the state of the level that I had right last time. Well, can't say this is the most exciting level I played, or exciting at all. I will for sure be changing shit around here. Yeah, so I have those 4 stars in here, and this is supposed to represent like the more open area. Shit, it ain't easy. But it is my second in life attempt at level design, and it ain't easy for me, I'll be honest. Especially when I'm designing such a weird fucking game. Probably if it was a straight up shooter it would be easier, but that was the challenge, right? That's how I wanted to learn. Okay, like let's deselect everything that I selected and let's try to be creative, shall we? So we have like an open area in here. Couple of simpler stars to collect, and then I supposed to get to the level when I will be introducing the mechanics of putting out flame. Let's maybe start with that, right? That might be kind of cool. Might be. We'll see. Dexterovsky says, in Unreal, common issue is when the player gets pushed by some moving object, like door. It is janky, not smooth at all. While testing the map, I noticed the CSGO player has similar issues. CS2. Yeah. Okay. That's funny that it also is a problem with the Valve game, because I would think that maybe they did movement a little bit differently. But yeah, like if you have just a regular something with the collision pushing the player's capsule to the left, to the right, or whatever, it will be janky because kind of player capsule doesn't want to move, right? So it is kind of being forced and it looks all janky and shit. And if I remember correctly, working on Evil West, I guess, it wasn't my responsibility, but I saw how the guy was doing like something for this type of mechanic. And if I remember correctly, he did it in such way, at least there was a prototype where if something like that starts move the player, actually like a custom movement mode turns on for being pushed by the thing, right? And then it was smooth, right? But that was the moment when I was like, I think I hate the way that the movement works in Unreal Engine, because why do I have to write the such fucking thing, right? Actually, yeah, I think Mover has it better, because there were examples of like player being pushed, etc., and it worked way smoother, right? So Mover might already solve that issue, or I might be misremembering, right? But the regular movement component, I remember like people experimenting with the custom movement mode, and that was the moment when I was thinking that that's bullshit, right? That's bullshit and I hate it. Alright, so the idea is that in order to... Oh my god, I don't want to write right now on this beautiful document. In order to... It should be only a one way to get into like the zone of putting out flames, and only one way out, so you shouldn't be able to go into the zone through the exit. So first of all, maybe not first of all, I should just design those putting out flames puzzles and then decide how do I want to connect to it, right? So let's try that. Like if it is an open area and you should be like bouncing around, like maybe I should start building this shit like right here. So you have to stretch to like to the left. If we're looking from the perspective of dropped player, it should like expand to the left, to the right, to the front and to the back, really. So let's maybe go to the right and start building some shit in here for like putting out flames puzzles. Of course, one immediate way that I already had in my prototype level, flame propagation range, is having like the sea of flames that you need to put out. That's an obvious given thing that we will do, right? But on the other hand, in this game, we are not really moving like that. Like the actual moving around in a regular way will be blocked off. So what stops you from just jumping over the sea of flames? Well, maybe it should be so huge that you're not able to jump over it, right? So you need to create like a space for yourself. Yeah, something like that. But let's start with, as I said, building just a space for it. Let's create cube grid. Let's of course open the correct folder. Once again, let me reiterate, maybe someone from Epic will be watching it at some point or something. Doubtful, but maybe. What I would love to have a modeling tool is a setting where I could just set up where is the folder that I want to save my meshes to. Like I want to save a mesh and specify the folder, not keep the current folder from browser because I'm jumping from folder to folder. So it is annoying. But yeah, let's build this shit. Let's build some space. Let's resize the grid to be bigger. Yeah. Is it big enough? Not really sure. Yeah, let's build it to be big at first. I'm not really sure what to do with it else. So I need to explore a little bit, right? Dexterowski says, the most simple fix in Unreal for it is to make add movement input 100 and add movement input -100 and simultaneously and same for Y in tick or similar function. Really? Huh. And that makes it not junky when someone is kind of pushing. And that's a nice quick little hack. But it's still kind of fucked up that you have to do something like this in order to make it not junky, right? Because that's something crazy. I would never came up with such fix, because basically we are simulating that the player is moving, so for example, the moving block is able to move it more smoothly. That's crazy, but you know, it is what it is. If it fixes, then it fixes, right? Regular development shit, I guess. Okay, so let's first drop the puzzle. Like, try to create a puzzle. So, intro I will create later. So I wanted to have something free on the close range and free on the mid range and free secrets. All right. So I guess, and it can be like managed, like, and putting out flames. So shit should be burning already, right? And I need to put out flames in order to get to it. So one thing I should add, I can see it already, is that my initial idea was that maybe arrow can go through flame and carry the flame, but maybe flames should be burning, eating the arrow away. That way, you know, I'm creating a flaming wall that you have to put out, right? You have to put this shit out in one way or the other. Otherwise, I don't feel I'm able to motivate player to put out the flame, because you can always shoot through it. I cannot hide a button or whatever behind nothing. The flame has to be an actual something that you cannot shoot through. And you will die, of course, in the process of trying to go through it, right? If you are catapulting through it, right? So, yeah. Yeah, that's what I think need to at least attempt, play it, and see if it is cool. Dexterowski says, yup, it is an ugly fix. Simple as that. It turns out that player movement is not updated when player is not moving at all. That's the reason it is happening. Oh my god, yeah. You're right, I didn't realize that. The player movement is not updated when the player is not moving at all. That's why probably Mover is having a better go of it, because it tries to update constantly, right? Especially if it is using the chaos physics as a liaison instead of like a regular mover component. But yeah, with the fix that you're saying, you'll be forcing the update, right? Yeah, so probably you can also create like a code that will force updates while, your character is idling, right? It will be zero delta update, right? No movement at all, but yeah, it's fucking ugly. So, are you planning on a lot of like mechanics like that in your game that, player will be moved by walls, etc., like squashed or something? All right. So, if we had a mechanic of flames burning shit, let's accept that for a second. And let's save that. Save all. Yes. Let's say that we have the mechanic of burning. Burning arrows when we are shooting through it. One thing that I also want to see, because I kind of forgot about it, is fire related. Flame, no spark phase. What the fuck was that? I kind of forgot. There's like a spawner of a flame, but no spark. Ah, it just shows the flame, right? And why did it stop in the... Ah, okay, non-flammable material. Okay. But thing is, I might want to spawn it in the max, in the already fully grown form, right? I haven't looked into flame base in a long time. I forgot what it is. Like, okay, I have like 4 enums unset, pre-spark head, growing and dying out. On growing thick. Okay, flame growing. So if I want to create a version that spawns already fully grown flame, I should just adjust. Huh. Okay. Lekserovsky says, yes, I would say that this game cannot exist without this feature. God damn. I forgot about function that I had. Flame propagation is affected by wind. That should also play a part in my puzzle pieces. I forgot that if I have a flame and it will grow and spark, other flames, I can influence the direction of it with the wind actor. I forgot about that. That could be also like a funny thing to play with, right? I have no idea how to set it up though, but yeah. Okay, but I want to quickly add... This is like a spawn flames situation. Yeah. Skip pre-spark phase. Already goes into on flame start. Alright. On flame start just spawns a system, right? It does a line trace downwards, whether it can grow or not. Or it's going here. Okay. I need to go for like a quick break. I'll be back in a second. Alright, I'm back. I'm back to make an ass out of myself more. Dexterovsky says, I was also comparing how the Source engine, physics plus player movement, is behaving comparing to the Unreal CMC, and it turns out it's not that bad as people are saying. Unreal CMC is performing better on higher network latency on physics, walking, jumping on physics objects, etc. But pushing the objects is not that nice as in Source engine, in my opinion, of course. Oh, that is interesting, because without your input, if someone asked me to bet, like, hey, which movement works better with higher network latency, I would probably say, like, yeah, probably it is CS to Source engine, right? But you're actually saying and tested that it is better on CMC side of things. Nice. So it is not as bad. Alright. Good to know, good to know. Good to know. Okay, so what was I doing? Ah, yes. Putting out flames puzzle. So, two things I want to add to make this shit work, right? Is I need to have sometimes... My need is to sometimes spawn a flame, but no, without all this full, how to say it, flow, where it starts small, grows, and then it sparks other flames. Sometimes I just want to have a flame that's already spawned. It's already big, and it's already burning the arrows, and it's past the propagation phase, right? And there are two ways of going about it. I could either create a completely new actor, just add my Niagara to it, make it big, and that's it, and give it a killing box that would kill player and arrows, or I could add something to it. I think add something to it because I can see, for example, that every interaction with the wind not only should affect the future spawns of the flame, it should ignite spawning flames on its own, right? So even if you have already fully grown flame, if we suddenly put propeller to it, it will create this flame throwing effect, basically. And I would love it for it to be a part of base functionality, because then it gives a lot of leeway of what I could do puzzle wise, right? For example, I could have one flame bubble spawner that could be rotated in different ways and in 4 different directions, and each direction will interact with the flame differently. In one you just need to shoot it, in the other one you need to create like a big flame and rotate another propeller and create a flamethrower. In the other you need to do something else, right? So more of a systemic gameplay could be achieved if I add it here, although it will be a little bit harder. So yeah, let's edit the blueprint that I haven't edited for a long time. That seems like a great way. Let me just comment this quickly. Thick, and it was like 36. That node is not needed. What is that? Set original flame point. Okay. Set original flame point. Yeah, that's why I'm using level design as a tool here, rather than just an actual level design that, hey, this is the level that will be in the game. Because it allows me to discover all the missing points that I skipped because I'm not a great designer, right? I'm learning how to design such shit like that, right? So that's why I'm using it, right? As such tool. But I would say even in like, you know, if you already are a great designer, sometimes trying to come out and create a sequence, etc. still might be a valuable way of figuring out, oh shit, I'm missing this, I'm missing that. on pre-spark start, and also 36. So we will know exactly what is everything. It's not a bad blueprint. Okay, it might be bad because I see this. Ah, yeah, because it's for each loop with the break. I hate the way the visually the break works on for each loop and blueprints, but I don't know how it could work otherwise, so I won't be hating too much. Let's go in here, and this is on flame start. On flame start. So this is what happens when the flame starts, which is if I'm skipping the pre-spark phase, this is exactly what happens. And I also wanna skip growing up, right? So skip flame growing and actually propagation event. I want to skip that. Dexterovsky says, okay, YouTube started removing my messages probably because of spam. What? Why? What is going on? But I don't want that. If you want to spam message every second, I want you to do it, right? I get it that they have probably it as a default, right? So no one would have to mess with those settings, but I would love to have the option of like, okay, I'm fine with it because I don't have big viewership anyway, so it's like I'm okay with it. If the numbers will come, that's when I will turn it on, right? That would seem cool to me if I had such option. It sucks that it deleted your messages. Now I wonder what your messages have been about. Maybe I should like also create like a chat version for on Discord where and integrate it with the stream so anyone could spam anything they want on Discord if they are on Discord, and it will show up here as well. Not sure, but I need to brainstorm it at some point. Okay, so let's quickly add this thingy. Boolean b skip to fully grown. Make writable. Someday I will push it to repo. Dexterovsky says, I tried to say that you can run this comparison with physics by yourself if you have Gary's mod in Steam library. I should have, although it might have been because it's been long time since I played Gary's mod and Half-Life 2 and all the other stuff. It might have been on my brother's account. So I might not have it on my own account. Shit, when we still used to live together and had only one PC, or should I say my brother owned PC, I was just sometimes using it. Yeah, so I'm not sure, but I trust you, Dexterovsky, I trust you. Dexterovsky says, just turn on some fake network latency and you can see how it behaves in source. Oh, yeah. How cool Gary's mod is. Just like to change the subject a little bit. Gary's mod is amazing. On propagation started. Okay, so where should I, if like on flame start, if it skipped to fully grown, that should all happen. Spawn time can happen. Line trace by channel can happen. See if this is a flammable surface can happen. If not, it should go into dying out phase. That's cool. I think it should skip all that. I think I should just be like, boom, get branch, and if it's not skipped to fully grown, then do all this bullshit. If it is skipped to fully grown, I wanna yeah, because I have on growing tick. That should be disabled. So another branch needs to be introduced in here. Then you're growing, and if it is not, then or I should just maybe like, let's unhook this. Let's do it in a little bit smarter way. Recombine struct pin, right? Make vector and or no, that's not what I want it to be. Like select vector, that's what I wanted. So it will go in here. No, wait a second, because then I would be constantly ticking this shit. No. Let's get back to this shit. Yeah, if it is not fully grown, then do this. And if it is skipping to fully grown, just do it once and never repeat this shit again. So the max scale will be dying out curve, which is flame growth curve, flame dying out. Wait, what? Ah, yeah, because it is also taking into the account. And I don't have anything. Did I fuck up? Uh-oh. I might have fucked up my blueprint. Dexterowski says, it seems Source do not have any client prediction for player movement, but maybe my observation is wrong. I'm not a pro game dev, I'm just a guy delivering freaking food to people. Yeah, but still, you know, you observed something, right? And I don't see a reason why your observation should be bad, right? What also could happen is that, at least for Gary's mod, that maybe Counter-Strike's Source, I wanted to say, Counter-Strike 2 and Counter-Strike Go back in the days might have had different client prediction than Gary's mod. I'm not sure. That also could be something. I'm just trying to remember right now if I read, because I read some articles about how some of the hit detections was made in CSGO, but right now I don't remember if there was anything about movement prediction. Actually, there was more about how if you, as a client, take a shot at the enemy, it actually resimulates whether it is possible that you could have taken this shot on server without cheats, right? I remember that shit, but I'm not sure if I ever read about any like client-side prediction, right? Client-side prediction. They probably have like some light client prediction, or maybe not. Maybe they're just like, okay, whatever the last fucking movement vector was, if you're lagging, that's what the fuck is going on until the next connection. And if, well, right now I'm remembering my games in CS, and it's sometimes behaved like that, right? When you had lag, the characters were going into the fucking walls and shit. Yeah. Curious. Did they, is there like an option to see the source code of the source 2? That would be cool. Meanwhile, let me remember if I fucked up that blueprint or not. But, ha. Okay, no, I don't. I wanted to do like a quick check of history with that asset, but I forgot that my server is offline, so I won't be doing that. I might have fucked up dying out. That kinda sucks. Even tick. Fully grown, growing. But it is being ticked only on growing. And set actor tick enabled is here. And if we are not, then lifespan is set as did, and the flame is dying out. And we don't update on dying out, but I didn't change anything here, so I don't remember. Maybe I fucked up something. I will fix if I fucked up. Okay, I want to do like one, but on the other hand, if I see correctly, in tick, where the fuck is tick? If I'm skipping to fully grown immediately, that I don't have on growing tick, event. And we got the message on Discord from Dexterowski. He says it would be easier in this way. I think you can see how janky this movement is. Okay, let's see on the Discord. Whoa. How it looks. Ah, yeah. Oh, yeah, it brings back memories. Yep. Yep. You just brought back my memories of playing CS Source, Half-Life 2 Deathmatch, and I had terrible internet connection that in Poland it was called Neostrata. And the thing about Neostrata it was that it was behaving, it was truly quantum connection because it completely was random and you couldn't predict anything. But you were playing those games, right? Yeah, totally agree. Meanwhile, let me drop a link to the Discord for anyone who's watching and is not already on Discord. Copy, bam, and paste. Dexterowski says, I sent you a video on Discord, you can show it, and you can notice how movement is so janky. Yeah, I just showed it, and it was janky. I 100% agree. It was janky, and you also brought back a lot of memories. Okay, so actually all of that shit is not needed because the growing tick will only be, as the name suggested, which I should have listened to, be happening on growing tick. So what I need to do is on flame start, if we are skipping to fully grown, first of all I'm changing the state of the whole thing to fully grown. Maybe I should just create an event. It will be clearer to look at. Custom event skip to fully grown. So fully grown and yeah, let me just copy all of that shit. Set the actor scale and set it to maximum of the growth curve, I guess. Can I get max, get time range and max time? Yes, that's what I want. And I hope it works, because it would really come in handy for making the water interacting with flame puzzles, and in general it would be very handy. What the hell? Ah yeah, of course. I forgot to hook up the curve actually. Skip to fully grown. Yep. And here we just are calling skip to fully grown event, and it should be alright. Yep. Lexerowski says, I will record in a moment a comparison to Unreal Engine. What you saw on Source was Engine, it was on 200 milliseconds ping. Okay, okay. I would love to see like a direct comparison. We will put it side by side here on stream and we will look at it and, you know, see what observations will we have. I'm quite sure that we will have the exact same observations as Lexerowski, because we're watching his clip. No, but I think, you know, you're good with that shit. So I think you're on the money with that test. Spawn flames, etc, etc. Yeah, I think it should be ready. So I should create like a child blueprint. Create. Where the hell is this? BP flame. Skip to or fully grown. Fully grown. Build that element quickly, and what should happen is in class default, yes, of course I should expose this variable, because otherwise it's stupid. Skip to fully grown and skip pre-spark phase. And let's delete that. Let's put that here, and of course we need to also put for like a hot second like a plane. I want to add quick plane just to test, and physics material. Let's add physics material to it. This material override, hell yeah. And numbable surface, yes. And let's maybe change this material to brown. Do I have just brown? No. Wood. Okay, what about my wooden material that I have? I probably have something that I don't remember how it looks. Fire related? No, not here. Vines have this material, so let me quickly copy it. Spline mesh. No, that's not spline mesh. Here's my spline mesh and the material. What the? No, I don't want to. I love all the misclicks. By name. Great. Construction script. That's static mesh. Create dynamic material. MI wood target. Oh my god, wood target. That was the name of the thing. Wood target. That was the name of the material. Okay, now let's see if our flame will actually stay on. Yeah, and it's fully grown. Great. We have that mechanic right now. So I think we can start building like a simple puzzle, like extremely simple thing that the player should already know, which is water bubble spawner, propeller, 2 of those big flames, yes, let me use a helper, my level design helper, because it was supposed to be, according to the original plan, close and mid-range. So let's put it on a close range because it's supposed to be simple. Blueprints, maps, tools. Yes, I had it in tools, and where is it? Close, distance, radius, torus. Yeah, like this will be a shooting point, right? Actually, okay, let me delete or just move that whole thing around a little bit, because once, you know, we spawned in here, maybe it should be like in some different place, maybe like in the air, and maybe you have to like jump on something to start shooting at it. Yeah, why not? Okay, let's turn on the modeling phase and let's do cube grid. Hell yeah, I'm editing existing asset because that's exactly what I want to do. Let me do something like this. Yep. And then do something like this. Quickly, yeah, because I'm thinking like not everything should be on the plane, or you have to aim constantly high or low. Sometimes maybe it can be on the same plane, but you need to jump up to it, etc. I don't know if it would be a good idea. We'll see. We're testing out shit, right? Okay, and now I'm accepting those changes, right? And I'm moving this like here. Oh, maybe no, actually I don't like it for this being a close range. Let's make it like a mid distance. Yeah. Whoa. I wanted to select both of those things. Come on, man. And let's put you like here. Right. And now I'm wondering how to set it up. Yeah, this should be a little bit like this. Let's change the selection mode and save it all. And let's actually put our reward. Which will be just a star target, right? That is this huge, right? That's great, but it is surrounded by freaking flames, right? So you need to put them out. So let's do exactly that. Let's take those flames and put a lot of them, right? Here. Okay, it's not perfect, but fuck it. How will it look like? They are a tad bit not big enough, I would say. I would love them to be even bigger, because you can just shoot through them. Or maybe I could. I just got the stupid idea. Like put the flame on top of the flame. I don't know if it will work, but we'll see. And let's just change. Copy it. Or should I just go like this? And like put it here. And it should work in my opinion. Yep. But the funny thing is, it is covered in flames, so you have no idea that something is behind it. That's like a big design challenge, right? Like, always want to kind of obscure that, hey, star is here. But why would you get even interested in that piece of level, right? And interact with it. Like, it... That is hard. I might need to consult my level designer friend. Sion, that sometimes drops in here and chat about how to do that challenge. That the puzzle is to collect something, so I need to obscure it. But I also need to make it obvious that, hey, your hidden treasure is here. You should entice player into going into there. Shit, you level designers are some crazy motherfuckers for figuring that shit out. Dexterovsky says, okay, never mind. I don't know how I checked it before, but it looks almost the same. Maybe, I don't know, maybe something was going on with CPU and that stutter was because of CPU or something like that. Something was running in the background or something. Or maybe, you know, it is one of those things that you're checking one day, it's behaving in a specific way, and the other day it's not. And you're like, I have no fucking idea, you know. Correlation between stars and shit, I don't know. I'm saying this shit like that because I oftentimes, especially during optimization in games, I encounter a situation when you're starting questioning your sanity. When on one day, the same build, on the exact same CPU and exact same computer with the exact same programs running in the background behaves one way, and the other day it takes a little bit more time to process data and you're trying to figure out why. And then the day after that, it turns out that it's okay again. And that's when you're thinking about Windows drivers, etc. And how the fuck can you even optimize for that shit, right? So yeah, that shit can question your sanity. Yeah, so this kind of checks, Dexterovsky, yeah, this shit happens often. I've been there and I was like, I don't know, let me ask my lead or someone senior to me, like, if they can make sense of it. Everyone looks at it and they're like, it shouldn't happen. And I'm like, yeah, but we can clearly observe it. And they're like, this makes no sense. Let's check in a week. In a week we're checking, oh, this difference of comparison doesn't show up anymore. It's more stable. Great. Month after that, oh, it's not stable again, but nothing changed that much about this particular functionality. That's when you are kind of going crazy and you're inspecting lots of weird shit. So maybe when you're making this comparison before, something occurred on your CPU. It might have been even the Windows update, you know, like fucking up something. We don't know, and we won't ever know. Alright, so we have that. Let's say I kind of don't want to add like arrow kill box to it yet, because that will be another like thing, but maybe I should. BP start target. That's not what I wanted. I wanted flame base, and it also needs to grow with the freaking thing, right? So I need to add like, yeah, let's add it. Box collision kill box, right? And it should scale up and X and Y, but I don't know in what way. Just scaling everything by that multiplier might not be great. Let's set it as not hidden in game and let's play around with it, shall we? Because what we should do is on flame growing, we should also get... Ah, we are setting whole actor scale. Wait a minute. Wait a freaking minute. Because the sphere is already here. It also is changing scale. So maybe the kill box will be alright. Maybe I should make it. Hello. Just a tad bit bigger. We'll see how it will scale. It scales like shit. It's way too big. So no. It should be of scale 1. Maybe even smaller. Let's see what the full propagated boxes will look like. Still, it is way too big. We will be shooting to the left of it here and the arrows will be dying out. So we need to get tighter. 0.75, 0.75, 0.75. Dexterovsky says, so my bad. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. Don't you worry, man. Ah, fuck. I clicked the play. That's not what I wanted to click. It is a tad bit better. No, it's actually quite alright. At least from that perspective. Let's see how it is from that. Yeah, it seems alright. Yeah, my flames are like that because they are placeholders. And I realized a bug in my distance helper. This is not hidden in game. Hidden in game, yes. That's what you're supposed to be. Alright, so now let's write some logic to my kill box. Overlap all dynamic. Yeah, it should only overlap. And it shouldn't block projectile. So I should create a new profile for it that would be also overlapping with the projectile and killing it. Hell yeah. So let's do it up front, right? Because if I leave it for later, I'm sure to not fix it and have a mess, right? So this type of this type of shit I try to do up front, really. Not editor preferences. Fuck. Project preferences, yes. Collision, yes. Preset. Flame kill box. That's one thing that I picked up from, I think, GDC talk from the guys that made Hogwarts Legacy. That you should create profiles that are explicitly named after one thing, and then when you're setting up level, no one will have like confusion. Oh, which profile I should set for doors, windows, etc. Because they should be named doors, windows, whatever. Even if they have the exact same collision, you know, properties set up here, doesn't matter. For level designers and everyone who's set up the level, it will be way easier. It doesn't matter that it duplicates shit. Because then you end up with situations that your doors have window collision preset, then you change something for windows in this preset and you accidentally change shit for doors, etc, etc. And that way, you know, you're always leaving it neat and clean and ready to be changed, right? Even if at the beginning they are kind of the same. Flame kill box. And it should be of object type. Yeah, it can be world static, I guess. Although I'm not sure, it might be world dynamic at some collision point. No collision. Basically query only. And overlap with everything for now. Yeah. And let's get back to my flame base. Let's set flame. Ah, yeah, I forgot that you had to do something to update this collision preset, right? Or kill box. Like you have to go like this and then go. No. Shit, you had to do something to update it. I forgot because it's been so long since I set up any new collision presets. I forgot what you have to do in order to update the drop down list. What was like the flame? Oh, I actually had one like flame for flames. Okay, so let me delete the flame kill box because it's actually not needed. I forgot that I already had that one. Just flame. Great, and I guess sphere has the exact same. No, it actually has override all dynamic. I don't know why, but fuck it. Ah, yeah, I need to fix that shit. I forgot. Yeah. The last time we looked at it. And I saved the note that I need to fix that at some point. Alright, so now it has those collisions. It should overlap with projectile. So we should add on component begin overlap for the kill box. And we should check if the other actor is player or not. I don't have dev, so I won't be doing like player dev yet. I don't have health points or anything like that yet. It probably will be very last thing to add in my prototyping, at least in the toy box phase. Because for now I don't need the concept of dev to test this shit, right? Whether like a prototype is cool or not. But I need to overlap other actor and cast to. But wait a second, let me projectile. Okay, BP arrow base. Arrow projectile base. Let me quickly check this shit. Because if I remember correctly, no, it's on event hit and that's when it's calling shit, right? I don't have any event for overlap. That's great. So the flame base, if you overlap. But do I have like a... I have catch flame. Oh. So I did do something with it, right? This is like an ugly blueprint to look at. Let's take a peek. Add flammable component. Is it called anywhere? It's like some old blueprint that I haven't cleaned up, really. I should clean it up. No, it's just stays here and nothing happens. Okay. I only have like, hey, if the actor has tag flammable, I'm adding flammable component to it. But if I have flame, but when will I ever have flame? Only if I catch flame, but this shit is not called ever. So yeah, this is like some leftover shit. Let me delete this because right now I made the decision that my arrows won't be catching fire and propagating it, at least for now. So maybe let's not delete it, let's just ignore that shit, right? Okay, but let me see, like, do I have like an interface? No, I don't have an interface. So I should probably add interface to it for flammable things because arrow is technically flammable. So instead, what I could do, I could just cast to arrow in here and explicitly call the killing, right? But I don't really like that. I'd rather call on the interface and be like, hey, you're interacting with the flame, right? And then the object itself decides what it will do with it. So arrow will decide that it will die. Player will decide that it will die. And other thing will decide that it will start burning, etc, right? As I do with my frame propagation. So let's stick to that flow of data paradigm, right? So let's actually add the interface that I don't remember how it was named, but we'll try to figure out. Flame affected. Let's BPI flame affected. On flame overlap. Very easy. Right, so now I should Interface on flame overlap. Implement event. Great. Now I can be like, okay, set lifespan to something like, I don't know, 0.2. And maybe we could show like a spark that it actually, you know, burned down instead of just disappearing. So, you know, we would be informed of what the fuck happened, right? I probably have like some Niagara that I already used for that shit. So let me find that, right? Vine spline based. It of course has my interface, so I should just find the function. Here it is. Do I? Yes, I spawned candle fire. Ah, okay, I spawned candle fire. Spawn system attached, but I do not spawn the burst. Okay, so I for sure have a burst on flame base. When it is being hit by arrow, right? Let me quickly change the font size on that comment so it will be consistent with the rest of this shit. With interactions, spawn flames, flame growing, tick on flame start. Begin play. It's flame base, it's not the flame bubble. What the fuck? Fire bubble. Yes, I have. So let me copy that. The our projectile base, spawn system at location. And that location, of course, will be that overlap location. Why not? So we will have the spark when the arrow will go into flame and it will die. Maybe I should make it even quicker so it won't have a chance of like propagating to collect the star, right? Yeah. Yeah, and also I could set up no collision, so even if it will propagate a tiny bit further, I should also just stop movement. That should be it, right? Yeah. So like, we're also calling this. And I should take projectile movement and just stop simulating. So it shouldn't move an inch from that. So we won't accidentally collect. Really? Why? Stop. I cannot stop it. Can I just call that? Stop movement immediately? Yeah, I can. Great. Okay, okay. So we got that. Let's see if it works, actually. Play from here. Can I just move? It has a fucking collision, the invisible box. Shit. But it's stupid. Because instead of overlapping with the skill box, it just stops and gets stuck there. So I have to do something about that. Because that shit doesn't even have a chance to trigger. Because event hit is being called. Because my flame base skill box, even though this I have collision enabled on flame. But why do I have physics collision enabled? That doesn't make sense. It shouldn't be like that. Collision, let's change the preset a little bit. I hope I'm not fucking this up too much. I might be. So you know what we will do? We will create like a custom in here just to test out how it should be set up, and we will create the another preset, because I'm not sure what the flame, it might have been important, although I have overlap all dynamic in here, but blocking the projectile, which is also like fucking weird. So I don't get it, really. And no physics collision. That's weird. Okay, let's try to do a custom in here. It will be like this, world dynamic and query only. And let me also fix the bug of that box having collision, because it shouldn't. No collision. Fuck me sideways. That also should have no collision, because it's just a level design helper. Alright. Let's play from here. It still fucking stops at that? What in the holy mother of... Alright, let me debug this shit, because that's some weird ass behavior. Let me drop a breakpoint in here. And let's see, what do I collide with in here? According to that motherfucker. Flame fully grown, and the component is the sphere component. Alright. I hope I won't be fucking things up. For the flame base, but let's also make it a custom collision and overlap projectile. I hope I'm not destroying my whole game because of it. It's a strong hope. Let's see. Okay. It doesn't show spark where I should, so that doesn't make sense, but at least I fixed the problem that my arrow sticks to it. It works kinda exactly like I want it to, right? So now let's actually change the project settings and the collision and the flame. Let's change it once again into like query only. Object type, I want it to be world dynamic because I'm not sure, I might start making moving flames or whatever, right? And the rest of it is alright. So accept that. And let's clean that shit up. So I don't know why I need both sphere. Is there like a call to sphere? Find references? There is. Do I need that shit? On component begin overlap? Really? Anymore? If I'm already calling on flame overlap in here? I don't need that shit, so let's clean that up. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I have perforce, I can bring that up. So now I should just wait a second. Yeah, I should just unflame overlap this shit. Unflame overlap. Yeah, if I'm using a kill box, I'm using a kill box, right? So actually, what I could do is just whoop, reconnect it here and here. I won't be using the active location actually because it doesn't make any sense anymore. I will be deleting the sphere because it's not being used anywhere anymore. And yeah. Sweep results. I'm not sure if it is from sweep. And I want to make sure that... I want to overlap exactly in the place where I started overlapping with it. So... maybe I should get world location from that scene component. I don't know. Maybe that will be a better version of that. And did I click through presets already for that shit? No, I haven't. So preset flame. I hope. I just started remembering. Oh shit. I might have destroyed the vine propagation right now. We'll see. We'll see. If I fucked up, I will fix up. Let's play. No, arrow is still in the bad place. Okay, I'm not sure if I have sweep results. Break. But we'll see. Because it's technically not coming from a sweep. Oh my god, not play. Oh my god. So fixing that missing hole takes a lot of time. Okay, now it works. Correctly. So we can... do that. Compile. We can hide the box hidden in game right now. Okay, now we have fixed like an element of play in here that we can shoot at that bastard. And my arrows won't get through. And I actually don't see it because my arrows are orange, so... so visual language is key. I should change the color of this arrow. I wonder what it hit. Oh, actually I hit the star target. Because I can elongate this thing. Wow, that's funny. I can accidentally hit the star target in that way, but you know, I can always do something like this to move the star target in here, like even further. And I wish I could just select things just by doing like a rectangle, right? Instead of like going like that. And actually that is fine. I don't need to do anything further. I shouldn't be able to hit it. Actually, no, I still hit it. Okay, fuck that. I can put it like in here, even behind flames. Fuck that. Yeah, because on the full charge, my speed of arrow is probably so big that in the 2 frames space, it is able to not overlap with those kill boxes and go straight immediately to star. Those are funny things like that if your projectiles are moving fast. And I'm not sure if I have the physics sub-stepping turned on, I'll be honest. And another thing that I need to note, if I want to engulf things in flames like that, I should probably come up with some better tool, level designer tool for that shit, right? Maybe in PCG or something. That I could just quickly shape the shape of those spawners, right? Oh my god. Actually, no. I don't have the intro to this. So let me play from here. I still fucking hit that. Okay, I will, fix that later. Right now, let's see if I can work with that at all. Like, you have that, and you just need to... And now you need to select all those motherfuckers. Fuck. I need to put them in like a... and something, so it will be way easier to like move them around, because in a second I will be doing another puzzle. And I need to work with it way faster. I don't want to be clicking through all those shits. I could maybe create like a quick PCG. For that. Spline based PCG. So I will do like a spline bank. It will be spawning those actors along the spline. Yeah, I think I will quickly do a PCG because I will be wanting to like spawn more of those. Like I want to engulf more things in flames, so it might be necessary to do this in that way. Let me quickly BP flame fully grown and delete all of that shit. Because it's 50 of them. I don't want to work like that. Another hole that I found out from attempting level design in here is, hey, I want to have a better way of setting up those things, right? So let me quickly create like a spline based PCG. So it will be in file related. It will be PCG graph. Oh, that's something new. I can already like create a template and then just... Huh, that's cool. Didn't knew that. PCG flame fully grown spline spawner. And oh shit, it's been ages since I have worked with like spline based PCG. I kind of forgot what the fuck and how the fuck are you doing that. Get spline data, I guess, from the actor, from myself. Yeah, I guess. And now I have to create like the actor for that. So of course, blueprint class, just an actor. BP flame fully grown spline spawner. And it will have, of course, the PCG component with the selection of... Okay, I need to compile that. Now graph and... Where's my freaking... Yeah, here's my graph. And of course spline. I need to add spline. Yes, this is a spline. And now I need to make it a closed spline. Compile. Close. Loop. Or maybe I can just after I put it in the game, I can do it. And maybe I should... Nah, fuck it. Yeah, let's see first of all if it freaking works. If I still remember how to set this shit up. BP spline, right? Let's take a spline. And let's like... And let's search for closed loop. Closed loop. We have it, folks. And let's remember if I still remember. Let's see if I remember. Is it just that, or should I? No, I should add like a spline sampler, of course. And this creates points. It should spawn freaking cubes in here, but it doesn't. Why? Oh no, it did. It's just they are having this funny shape to it. Okay. I didn't remember that, so absolute, yeah. Okay, I do still remember how to do it. Aha. Great, great. So, on spline, subdivision, distance, number of samples. Yeah, I can go with like number of samples as a variable, and it's like 8. Great, so now I should go like here, and number of samples, I should get actor property. It doesn't have this property yet, but it will be named spline samples count. Let's quickly add such variable in here. Of course it's integer, and of course it is visible, otherwise it won't work. Bada bing, bada boom. We got it. And it should be right now 8, 16, 24, yeah, 8. Great. Now I can fully steer it. And now I can, instead of debug, I can turn debug off or branch it. Branch. Output to B. I can create like a quick. I can create a variable. B show show PCG debug. And it's a boolean. Of course visible, otherwise PCG wouldn't be able to access it. I think it's still true. Let's just get actor property. I still remember the days when the name of the property wasn't shown here. So when I was constructing PCG nodes for work, day job, I had to constantly put like comments around get actor property to have like a visible clue what property it is getting. But thankfully they added what property are we getting in the header here. And that's when we are spawning debug. So now it shouldn't spawn anything, but if I go like this, it should start spawning. Okay, yeah. Great. And output A will be spawn actor. The actor is flame fully grown. Yeah. And now we have a quick tool for spawning flames. We can just go like simulate. Yep. And we can just make a quicker work of quick level design tool. That's why I say to all of my level designer friends that it pays off to know PCG, because you can just construct all the tools that you need on your own. You don't need to wait for like, maybe not all the tools, but so many tools you can construct of your own. You don't need to wait on like anyone to provide you these tools, right? If you know a little bit about blueprints and you know, teach yourself PCG, you will have an awesome time. Because I just created like a quick freaking tool for that. I can make whatever shape I want with minimal effort. So it is really freaking simple. Yeah, I have this. Kind of shape. And I can easily adjust elements in the level. Oh my god. By choosing that, moving it like here. And yep. And we have our flames. Quick flame spawner, right? And oh, I can shoot through it, right? Oh my god. Well, I can just go like number of samples. Why can I select anything? Come on, man. And go like 32. Now it is nicely done, and I can duplicate it like 3 times and create like the and create like a wall of flame any moment I want. And I can somehow still collect the star, but you know, let's not think about it too much. The idea is that we will have like a simple falling water actor here, right? No, what the fuck? That's not what I want. Why it is deprecated? That threw me for a loop, I'll be honest. Let me get into the flaming propagation range, because there were those bubbles. What the fuck are they? Water bubble. That's what I want. Where are you? Oh, in bubbles. Okay. Thank God that I named that thing deprecated, because I would use some old shit. Yeah, so here's like a simple water bubble. That will be, of course, scaling. And all. Things, right? So you can have it go like this. Yeah, it's like super simple. Like that's what I think player would want. Will take him no effort to do, but it's supposed to inform you like, hey, whenever you see like a wall of flames, maybe there is something cool behind it, right? We'll see. Yeah, I'm suspecting fully that, you know, I don't have enough elements to construct the coolest sequence in the whole level, right? So it might be that I will construct those sequences, play it, and be like, oh, that fucking sucks. It's way too easy. Nothing is challenged. Like I go into immediately and to an area immediately, and everything will be super obvious, right? No puzzle, no logical puzzle, really. But you know, we gotta start somewhere, right? No one was born like level design god in a second. So yeah, it should just work, right? I should go like this. Yeah, all of the flames despawned except for the frontal one, and I accidentally hit the collision of my star, which I don't really understand why. But yeah, we need another layer of those things hanging around. Yeah, right now oh my god. Right now they are represented as just bubbles, but they might turn into something else at some point. We don't know yet. Whee! And now I can collect the star. It was the first time when it exploded properly. Huh. That's cool. Yeah, so I got one of the mid-range ones. I wanted 3 close-range ones? Okay, because the other puzzle that I could easily do with it is the one that is basically a copy of that puzzle. Like, yeah, you need to align the water wind propeller with the bubble spawner, so it will be spawning bubbles in the correct place. And then it will be water bubbles and they will put out the flames so I can access something. But it seems like it would just be a repeat of the same exact puzzle, just instead of flame bubble, it will be a water bubble. Instead of burning something, we'll be putting out the flames. But it basically, functionality is the same puzzle. So I should probably think about what else I could do with, like, okay, I have water and I can put out flames. I have all of this shit. Of course, the other thing I could do is, now that I have my freaking spline shit, quite related, I can do... Actually, let me do another tool. Another PCG and another tool. To spawn grid-based flame actors, right? I might already had that somewhere. But now let's make it properly, right? PCG graph, create empty graph, PCG flame fully grown grid spawner, right? Let's try to make it on the grid, right? So we should create like a grid of points. Create points grid, right? Yeah, coordinate space global. Yeah, let's see the debug actually, because I don't really remember how to use that. I don't really remember how to use that node, so it's funny. Immediately, let's create like but do I need the blueprint for that? I can just use PCG as is, right? Yeah, I don't need it like with the spline. You always need to have the actor, right? Maybe not always. No, you do need to have the actor that has a spline on it, right? But in that case, I can just go like... and put it like here. And of course, I need to go with like absolute. I still don't see any freaking... It created it here? What the fuck? Why did it created it in such place? Then I want it to be where the original component is. Here, exactly. 2 points outside of volume, of course. Point position is cell center. Yeah, I can just... grid extents. Yeah, cell size. Yeah. Yeah, I can just create the variable out of it. Can I go like parameter? Create parameter? I can! Finally! New vector parameter. And can I rename it quickly? I can. Grid extends. Of course. And cell size, which is also vector free. Nice. Guys, it didn't used to be there. Create vector. Wait, what? On a param. New vector parameter. Okay. And cell size. All right. But actually, I might want to just, you know, be resizing this box by hand, and that's how I want my grid to extend. So let's try that. I forgot how you were doing this, but it was like get actor data, and you could get like extents or something like this. Extents. No, how the fuck? I kind of forgot how you were doing it, because I remember doing it like taking the extents of your actor and using that as a grid extents vector. Fuck, I kind of forgot this. Actor. And it was done through like get actor data, but I kind of forgot. How you were doing this? Like get actor. Maybe it was via get actor property. But I don't think so. No, it was like a specific fuck. I kind of forgot about that. How to do this. Get actor. Not a lot of level designing, right? Going on right now, but it's because we are lacking tools, so we are making tools for that shit. What is get actor data layers? I actually don't know this property at all. Data layer, actor reference. Okay, I don't think it is that. I completely forgot. Include children, get component. I completely forgot. Get bounce. Was it just get bounce? I don't really remember, I'll be honest. No. Cell size must not be less than 0. And what is the cell size right now? Where are my parameters? What the fuck? Ah, parameters window is here right now. Okay, 100, 100, 100. Can I look at that? Oh, actually, I think the bounds are actually correct on that shit. Sense modifier, get sample texture, get texture. Alright, so we got like bounds. That's great. Data, elements. And actually, what do we get from here? Whoa, 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 whoa. We get actor data, and why does it have so many points? I have no idea. Does it like sample the whole volume of the actor? It creates 65,000 points? That's some weird as shit. And can I get like scale from this? Get scale? No. I apply scale to bounds. I cannot. Alright. But scale is 111, I guess, so it's alright. And okay, I think I might need like a quick 5-minute break. Yeah, because I need to get a quick snack and make myself a new beverage. So I'll be back in like 5 minutes. Quickly try to resolve this shit and go to building puzzle. But so far, what I see from my attempt at level design is I severely lacked tools to like actually start building puzzles. Yeah, so the lesson is before you jump into like level design, make sure that you can set up things and have level design tools. Build them in PCG or whatever. Because otherwise, and I wouldn't discover it without attempting that. So that's a nice thing. So I need a 5-minute break. I'll see you in like a couple of minutes. See ya. back. I'm back. Took a quick break for a snack, for toilet. You know how it is. Okay, so where were we? We were building a grid from for spawning. Sorry, flames. That's great. Okay. We wanted to get grid extents from the actual shape of the fucking thing. Okay. So let's do it. Why so many points? That's the question. Because I never seen. So, fuck yeah. There was a way to make it into one point that describes all the extents and shit like that. Mode. Yes, get single point. Yes, now we have it. But the bounds are fucked up a little bit right now. Because it turns to... Oh no, get bounds actually works correctly. Okay, so what we actually need is just like... Wait a second. Why it's not symmetrical? Yeah, we need to get max x minus mine. Yeah, we need to subtract max and min values, and we are there, right? So like subtract. Subtract, and I want this to be like bounds min. Or maybe I can just take it from here. Ooh, that's nice. Bounce min. And here, bounce max. Damn, they really updated the UX game on this shit. I love that. Now, bounce min. Why is it an error? The fuck you talk about bounce max don't exist when I see them existing? But I see them. That's some weirdest shit. Do I need to regenerate this shit? No. Guys, it's something weird because I'm taking bounds min, bounds max. I see those properties in here. Yet, when I take subtract, I'm trying to do the operation of I'm actually taking the bounds max and bounds min. It says that it doesn't contain that. What the fuck? That's some weird ass shit. And that fixes it? Okay, because the difference is when you have the $sign before the name of the property, it means it is the default property of any point within PCG. And when you don't have it, it's a custom point. It means that the node getBounce, when it outputs the bounds min, bound max, well, of course, it doesn't output the default properties of PCG, right? Instead, it creates like a new ones that just has the exact same name. Oh, what the flying fuck. And yeah, and extend. Yeah, we got the extents, and I think it's just... Oh, it should be called grid extents. My bad. Grid extents, and now it should just work that it takes up the whole freaking thing. Exactly. And now I can modulate the cell size to make it smaller. Or at least they should be. Yes, parameter overrides. I need to delete grid extents because they are not gonna be used. They are not gonna be used, and I don't know how to delete them anymore. What the fuck? Okay, we have a new UX for graph parameters, but I'm not sure how within that UX I can delete the parameter. Because I don't want it to exist. And I have no way of deleting it. Great. So, like, I don't know. Can I just see them here? Nope. I have no clue how to delete parameters anymore. Is there like a box or what the hell is going on? Like a missing. The drop down list was cut off. Oh my god. Remove property. Oh my god. That was stupid. Okay, so like cell size, let's make it bigger. And now it creates like this huge grid. But I don't need it like that big. I need only one level of it. Yeah. Now I can just, because what I wanted to do, I wanted to make those jumping platforms be engulfed in flames, right? So I could just go like this and just align that shit. And now I can just stretch that and I will have exactly what I want, right? I just need to add my plane to it. Otherwise my flames won't be propagating. Right? Yep, and that's it. I can easily now just copy those elements and move them over to here. As simple as that. Now I can adjust everything nicely. The same with like that shit. With my flame spawner, grid spawner. Great. And now I need to also do like a quick branching node. Yeah, to enable debug. It will be boolean. It will be renamed to be show debug. And just like in this, I need to just spawn actor. And I'm done. Just a quick little, tool made in PCG and we're off to the races. We can quickly see if it works. It does, although for some reason I don't know why these small flames are so small. Probably I need to move that thing a little bit higher. So it will actually land on the flaming surface, right? Yep. Why is it? That's weird. I need to have it as a two-sided material. Yeah, let me just take that, boom. Let's adjust that. A little bit, and let's adjust our PCG a little bit. Yeah, we could add like fancy ray tracing to always hit that shit, etc., but not needed for now. Let's extend it just a tad bit further. Yeah, and I think we're good. We just need to finally drop like a couple of those in here so we can create actually our way. Oh, whoa, 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 that was bad. Do we also need to make a tool for like creation of those? Yeah, actually. But you know what we could do? Let's be smart. Can we put in like a template actor? No, we can't. What the flying fuck? Alright, fuck it. So we will do it like this to quickly change this tool so it can spawn whatever actor in the grid, because we might be needing flames, we might be needing bubbles, we might be needing whatever, right? So we are gonna change it to be let me quickly make it full screen and spawn attribute. Yeah, and we need to go with like spawn attribute will be actor soft path, right? And we'll create a variable of that. Actor soft object reference or soft class reference. Soft class reference. Yeah. And let's VP flame fully grown. Let's just test it, right? And while we're testing it, we need to go like match and set attributes. I think to add this attribute in here and create, right? Ah, yeah, let's rename it, of course. Rename actor soft path. Good actor soft path. Can I just go like that? And it should create like the soft path for every point. Let's quickly see if that is true. It is. Every point gets that. That's awesome. And now we can go here, and see if, yeah, let's clear that. If we still have our flames, if it works, right? If our tool works with slight change, it does. Of course, we are taking a beating on the Niagara because it's not optimal at all and there are too many flames and shit, but you know, this is something to consider for later. For how the whole Niagara flames should be working. We might be using Niagara data channels for that in the future, so it will be way more optimal because right now it's not optimal at all. Okay, so we got that. We can turn on the analysis module, turn off, I mean. And because it is an actor soft path, I can just go like this. Rename this shit to I can first of all change the name of it. PCG actor grid spawner. Right? I can move it to actually to tools. Move here. Every time you do it, you should update redirector references. So it won't fuck up your redirectories, right? And I can right now, if I am understanding it correctly, I can go to like file related. Why is it still here? Did I accidentally selected copy instead of move? I had spline spawner. Okay. Yeah, I should also change it into like spline actor spawner because I might need some more stuff in here, but whatever. And yeah, now I can just I think go like PCG graph and choose. Why can't I? Huh. Okay, I wanted to use like PCG graph instance PCG. Thank you. Autosave. Flame. Fully grown. A grown grid. Spawner. Once again. Let's open this up. And I think, why can't I? That's exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to change. Okay. I have it. Okay. I don't know why grid extents are showing up when I deleted this variable at all. Who the fuck knows? Actor class to spawn. And flame. Where the fuck is the flame fully grown? There it is. And I cannot select it? BP, flame, fully grown. Some weird shit going on. Okay. And now I want to save it and see if it actually works. Let's take all those 3 examples and let's swap them with something. And I click right here and replace selected actors with PCG flame. I cannot. Why? I have no idea. Huh, that's something new. And what if I just take cell size 500, 500. Why it's not working in the same fashion? It's some weird ass shit, I'll be honest. I just wanted to create like a like a quick little. It's behaving in such a weird freaking way. Actor class to spawn. I selected everything. I don't think I understand how graph instances are working. I thought that it would be like, okay, I have a graph, now I can just create like 6 instances with different property parameters values and it would work. But it's not working for some reason. Like, for example, the whole actor bound, like, it's fucked up. Alright, let's delete that. So we cannot have it working like this. And for some reason, things that it spawned stay on level when I delete the actor, main actor. That's great. So I cannot use it like this. That sucks. Okay. Let's delete this graph instance. Yeah, delete. Fuck the undo history. And yeah, and I'll just replace it with PCG grid actor spawner. Fuck it. And I will be selecting the actors as is. I was thinking that maybe I could have like something cool, but I can't. I can't. That sucks. That really sucks. Yeah. Fuck it. PCG actor grid spawner. Okay, replace selected actors with PCG actor grid spawner. And what the? Okay, something weird fucking happened. I need to delete this once again. BP fully. For some reason it misbehaved like a motherfucker. It didn't even delete those. Something weird is going on. I need to revisit PCG in order to like understand why it is behaving that way. And this is like a from spline, and these are from splines. Okay. Now I can select all those 3 easily, right? And I can no, I cannot select their graph. I'll be honest, it is kind of annoying. Only track itself, editing mode. Everything seems alright, as it should be. Okay, and I have to do exact same shit here. Put like 500 by 500 by 500. Clean up, generate. Jesus fucking Christ. So much work around the shit instead of like building stuff, but that's what you get when you start level design without tools for that, right? So that's the first lesson, and that's just being real with y'all. And why it didn't spawn anything? Thank you. And now let me just delete those motherfuckers, and let me just delete those guys. Right, and let me now take the actor grid spawner. Did I just crash the engine? Oh, please God, no. We didn't have a bot today, but we might have had crashed the engine. How are you guys doing? Let's see. Yup, it's eating up gigarams. It's bigger, it's bigger. So it is spawning infinite amount of actors. If I'm correct. Yup, and I think it will be going like that until it fills up the whole. Yup. I need to change the default value of the cell size because it is spawning crazy freaking like, oh my god, I should have clicked pause region because it is still spawning like thousands and thousands of motherfuckers. Now it's alright. And why is it spawning it only at the bottom? Ah, yeah, because I did that. I'm actually fine with that. And I might need like 500 by 500. Yep. No. But these are default values. They should be this big. And I want to edit. That's what I thought. How graph instances would look like. That I could just create like 6 instances. One spawns flames with specific parameters. The other spawns water bubbles with specific parameters. But it wasn't working at all. So I need to revisit graph instances to learn how they work. Dexterowski says, how am I doing? Trying to install plugin to Blender which is not compatible with my Python version. I love messing up with Python shit. Oh my god. What kind of plugin are you installing? Is it the Unreal Export one? Or something completely different? But yeah, Python compatibility shit and Blender. Such a great pairing, right? So I see you're also dealing with bullshit. Just like I am right now. Those graph instances would really come in handy right now, but for some reason they don't work as I thought they might. That's great. And different actor. BP bubble. No. Water bubble. Big. This is big. Doesn't look big to me. It's just only 5 times bigger. But let's do that. Yeah, they are not nearly as big as I need them to be. Dexterowski answers. I found some kind of stuff which imports successfully whole CS2 maps into UE5, but through Blender. Ah, okay. I love wasting my time for things like this which are not needed at the current time, so in short, I'm wasting my time. Aren't we all? Aren't we all? But I also go down the rabbit hole like this almost every day. Like, okay, I could just leave that shit, but fuck it, it should work, right? And going with it, right? I feel like I'm wasting my time right now trying to build those tools, but I know that I will be thanking myself on the next stream and stream after that for wasting time with building this. The same way I think you will be thanking yourself if you figure this out and you'll be like, oh, okay, now it's just like 3-click solution or whatever, right? But my water bubble big is not that big, so I'm making it like 25. Now it is big. Now it is actually freaking big. And yeah, make writable. And I guess I need to do like a cleanup and force them. What the fuck? How big this shit has to be in order for it to change? What? Ah, yeah. No, I have it selected as. Okay, now I'm intrigued. Why the hell the scale of this shit isn't changing? When I drop it here, it's huge. When I'm spawning it here, it doesn't give a fuck about the scale that I'm spawning it with. Even though I have set it to 100. Right? Like, what the actual 5? Fuck. Maybe 5 was great all along. It's just the spawning of it is fuck. Right? So... Lexerovsky says, successfully I mean importing entities, materials as material instances, etc. Because when you're trying to do it with the FBX exporter, you have to assign materials manually. Oh, fuck, yeah, fuck that. Fuck assigning materials manually. Lexerovsky says, delete the PCG actor and place it again, because maybe it is pulling somehow or something. Oh, yeah, that's actually a great suggestion. That I forgot, that sometimes you need to turn it off and on, or delete shit and place it once again, right? So let's delete. Fuck me sideways. Okay. Clean up. And it already... I don't know why default behavior right now is when you're deleting the PCG volume, it automatically clears the PCG link, because that's annoying. I don't want to have this functionality, and now I'm fucked because I have to go by hand and kill all of this shit. Okay, BP, water, bubble, all of that shit. It's annoying default behavior. But let's place that shit once again from my tools. PCG actor grid spawner, yeah. Let's put the cell size to 500, right? Actor soft path should be BP water bubble big. No, it's still spawns them. It gets spawned, but it overrides the scale that I'm setting on the actor, which is kind of fucked if I think about that, because I set up that actor in a specific way, right? So like my sphere collision is what is big, so for some reason my actor grid spawner at the end, right? When it gets those points, it gets the scale of 1, but why it should care about that if I have actors scaled? Like, what the fuck? And I wanted to help myself. So what, should I go with like... But that's stupid. But I don't want to waste my time with... I just want to take scale. Scale. There it is. And I need to add another graph parameter, which is here. Like, float. Yeah, it will be a float. Let's rename it actor scale, and it will be on default as 1, right? Here goes actor scale. Here goes point scale. And now I can... Now we're working with the money. Okay. Oh fucking K. Shit, it's an override because that's some weirdest behavior, but fuck it. I don't have time to waste on that shit anymore. So like, let's take those. Let's actually move it like here. Yeah. And place that shit above. This whole thing, yeah, it's funny because it's supposed to be such a simple puzzle, or I shouldn't even say puzzle because it doesn't require too much thinking, but you know what I'm saying. Like it should be no-brainer for the player to quickly learn the mechanic and that's it. Right? Maybe this shit should be a little bit higher. And setting this up takes such a long time. But part of level work is creating tools for that. So, yeah. I'm not even sure if it will be a cool sequence right now. So, yeah. It seems like I made it even more boring. Oh yeah, fuck shooting all this shit. No, 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 no. It should be like one freaking giant bubble that will drop down here, because shooting that many times in here is a waste of time. Or maybe I should make the bubble not destroy the arrow. That's also a thing. We'll see. Okay, so let's take that shit and change the cell size to be like, I don't know, 1000 by 1000. I basically want to have like one freaking point. 3000 by 3000. Almost. 4000 by 4000. Yeah, I have one freaking point. Great. And let's give this like, I don't know, even bigger scale. Fuck it. It will be like a big ass planet. It's kind of like you're shooting the fucking planet. That's so stupid. Did I just move bubble alone? No, move that. That's so stupid. I don't think this is working. I'll be honest. And I made the same error. Fuck. I should have gone clear. Why is this a default behavior that delete automatically unlinks stuff? When for all the previous versions of Unreal, it was the other way around. So now I have to remember to clear it first instead of deleting it. Already. Why unlinking is a default behavior of deleting the whole PCG volume, I have no fucking clue, but I'm annoyed by that. Now I have to go like clean up, and now I can safely delete the whole thing, right? Jesus. It doesn't even visually look good, right? Why is this bubble fucking... It's not a good idea. It's completely not a great idea. I think it fucking sucks. But you sometimes have to go through sucky ideas. Oh my god. The way it looks. Freaking ridiculous. Alright. And also my catapult shot or golf shot or however I want to call it is not up to snuff. So I guess I have way more like work to do. And something is creating this huge shadow. Is it Dead Island? Probably. And for some reason that star destruction works. No, that's not cool. Maybe like one. Oh, wait. Ooh, thank you. Clean up, delete. Oh my god, that's so freaking annoying. But I first have to go like this, clean up, and then I have to delete this. And I have to do the same shit here. Oh my god. And now I can delete this. Why clearing the PCG link is a part of the regular as delete, I have no idea. But in my opinion, it shouldn't be like this. After 5 versions of it not working like that. Yeah, so that was a sucky idea, but we created some tools that might help us in some way, shape, or form. Yeah. I had like some oh my god, what it was called? I had like some yeah, I think next stream won't be about level design because I feel like I'm severely lacking tools and elements with it. I'll be honest, because right now I'm trying to come up with like, okay, what else I could do with this? Outside of like just changing the basically code painting on this propeller kind of freaking deal. And I cannot come up with shit. And I also need to add what, let me go into here and propeller plus fully grown flame equals flame thrower, right? That's what I want to add. So we can burn shit. And I feel like there's still not enough elements to build like a level. And I am severely, lacking skill for a level designer, which is understood. I'm doing this for the second time in my life. Yeah. So next stream won't be about level design because I need to go back to the drawing board. But that's okay. That's exactly as I designed this whole learning exercise, right? I wanted to use the tools that I created from my toy box to create a sequence. And now I see that, yeah, I'm lacking both in experience, that's for sure, but also I'm lacking things that I could do with my water bubbles, water in general, and putting out flames. Like I need something more. Like I need something more in order to build puzzles, because right now it's like, yeah, okay, here's this, and I could always obscure things by flames, and you need to somehow align the bubble to shoot at it, to put out flames, and, basically uncover something. But this is like a coat of paint on that puzzle, which is like align water, fire bubble, so you can shoot at it and burn down something. Just done kinda in reverse, right? So not enough twists to it, right? So I need to figure out something else for that. Like I need to think about some more water interacting with fire based mechanics or something that I could play. And the song Jestem w dupie, which means literally I'm in the ass, figuratively I'm fucked, place in the perfect placement as always. Yeah, so my attempt at sequence making was like was supposed to answer the question, do I have enough toys to make a sequence? And the answer is no, not really. I'm lacking a couple of, or maybe even more of toys connected to both burning down and to water stuff, right? Why did I design a game about bow and arrow? Because it's hard and makes me think. If I made it a little bit simpler, I would probably just be copying mechanics from other games, not knowing why they do belong here, right? I wouldn't be making like a ground level muscle training before a marathon or sprint or whatever, right? So that's why I did it. Yeah, I would figure something out with water and putting out flames, like some other mechanics than just, hey, here's like a flaming wall and you need to put it out. Water physics is probably beyond the scope of those streams because that's like 2 years alone. Even if I bought like plugin from Imaginary Blend, it still would be like, holy shit, how the fuck to make it work with levels, etc. So yeah, I need to go back to drawing board with that shit and think about what else I could do with putting out flame. Okay, but that's like one part of the level that I thought, like, okay, we're introducing flaming mechanics, putting out flames. We need more in here, right? I need way needs. I can put it in red. Oh my god, what the fuck is this? An 8 pixel. 8 more toys for that shit. Also for burning, I need for sure the flamethrower. Or the interaction between wind and a fully grown flame to have a flamethrower. Yeah, so I need more with... I need flamethrower for sure. And we will be doing that next stream. Maybe we'll even start today. Why not? And maybe something more with like ignition and what ways you can ignite flames, because like shooting bubbles is great, right? And you can have those alignment puzzle, etc. And I wrote the word ignite in such a way that you cannot read it. So ignition, I need more there. And this area is supposed to be about twisting all those mechanics, but I don't have enough of them, so how the fuck can I twist them? Yeah, so, and also let me write it down here. More ignition mechanics. Yeah. Yeah, because I'm thinking like, yeah, shooting down, as I was saying, shooting down fire bubbles is so cool and dandy, but basically I can only make one type of puzzle with it, like alignment puzzle, right? You need to align wind propeller, spawner, and the thing that you need to burn, shoot at it. It will create like a spark that will do like a ignition, right? But if the theme of this third or fourth level in the game is supposed to be flame and burning down shit and ignition, etc., I need to think about what kind of more ignition mechanics I could have. That wouldn't be just another like a flavor of alignment where, hey, I'm spawning something that carries a fucking rock and you're dropping it on another rock and it creates a spark and does something like, no. I need to think about some other ignition mechanics that will involve me just shooting at something and creating like a spark. Yeah, I need to think about that shit real hard. And before someone says like, hey, just ask ChatGPT or Gemini or whatever this question, I want to figure this shit out for myself, because it's not about me just using AI to fulfill my weak spots. It's about me training my brain to figure this shit out, right? That's like a difference. I don't want to be. I don't want to have limits. I don't want to have my limits to be the limits of LLM. I want my limits to be my limits and LLM to help me, maybe, you know, like process some data, etc. But not creative thinking, right? So yeah, I need a quick break, and I think, you know, we will get down to starting this flamethrower shit, right? Shall we? It will be fun. So I'll be back in a second. Quick break, I'll be back in a second. And yeah, we'll try to build a flamethrower. So see you soon. What's up? I'm back. 3D versus UE. 3D versus Unreal Engine is here. Hi, hello. Thanks, bro. He says, nice game. Yeah, Paint is the best game ever. And how are you doing? How are you doing? What are you working on? I have been attempting at level design just to see if I can build a sequence, just to find holes in my game design of the game and all the mechanics that I created for it, etc, etc, etc. And I, you know, the idea was to check if I have already enough mechanics to build a whole level around it, or maybe should I add more. And the conclusion is I need to definitely add more, because I'm stumped with like, okay, what the fuck can I do more? So we're going back to the you know, whiteboard, right, with that shit. So let's get back to flame propagation range. And how are you doing? 3D versus UE. Yeah, so right now we will be trying to make a flamethrower, which basically means that I need to have my propeller. Where the fuck are those things? Wind related, and my actual propeller. I should rename those, all of those as deprecated. You know what? No, you should not rename things when you're not connected to your source control. So let's not do that. Let's just place my wind actor. Let's rotate it 90 degrees. Let's place like a flammable fucking thingy here. And let's place our eternal flame, which is actually fire related. It is actually our flame fully grown. Just a flame fully grown, right? Like right in here. Right now, nothing will happen, right? If I press simulate. It will just spawn and that's it. But what I want, actually, is when the wind hits the fully grown flame, right? It will become a flamethrower, right? It will be just like emitting sparks of flame in front of it, trying to, you know, propagate the flame further, right? So it will be throwing lots of smaller sparks, right? And I think I need to create like a spark actor, spark projectile, or however we want to fucking call it, right? Because I don't really have that. When our flame, if we look at it, tries to propagate, it doesn't create like actual actors. It creates like a sphere trace, right? And like couple of seconds, if I remember correctly. Wait a second. Where's the tick? On growing tick. Flame growing, blah blah blah. On flame start. Yes, after some time, it will call the event spawn flames, which will try to take final propagation local directions, which means like it usually tries to spawn flames to the north, south, east, and west, looking top down at the flame, and tries to do all those sphere traces. And if it lands on something, it will actually spawn actor there, and that actor actually will have a pre-spark phase, which will have all the fake pre-spark bells and whistles, so it will look like it's actually, you know, propagating, right? Even though it actually is already there, it's just taking like a spark and moving it around, trying to fake that shit. But what we might need right now is when it is having a wind interaction and it is fully grown flame, it will just start spawning lots of flaming projectiles. That will be kind of like going forward and falling to the ground and trying to spawn themselves, right? Let's try that. I got 12 minutes of stream in me and the time allotted to me, so yeah, let's try that shit. We might, yeah, as I said, we might need to have an actor for that shit. But let me think about it, because we do have like a Niagara system asset, right? Propagation spark, which is something like that, and we could just have like a actor with the projectile movement that has this visualization, right? And it just goes forward a little bit and that's it, right? We could have that. So that's what we should do, like create blueprint class. It will be a fresh class, BP flame spark projectile. Did I name it correctly, or do I have like a typo? Flame. I have a typo. Flame spark. Yeah. Let's quickly do that. Let's just freaking add this projectile, right? Add Niagara particle system component, and it immediately spawned my projectile because I have it selected here, right? This is my own projectile that I created like some streams ago, probably last year even. And yeah, we need to add projectile movement to it, kind of like Arrow has, right? Arrow has projectile movement, and it's kind of it, really. Projectile movement, we just need to make sure that it will have some initial speed or whatever. Oh, I can do force stop stepping. That's nice. Should not bounce. We can interpolate movement. It will not have any rotation. It has velocity of 1. Nah, initial speed should be like, I don't know, let's do like 30 units per second, right? And max can be whatever, right? Gravity scale, yeah. Let's actually just found that shit in front of us, so we can adjust this, right? That's not the actor I wanted. What will happen if... Okay, the forward is... here? Actually, yeah, it worked. It just falls a little bit too quickly to the ground. So let's make it 100 units. Actually, I would love for it to just like have not be affected by gravity for a little bit, and then only after like some time it starts getting affected by gravity, right? This could be cool. That's not what I wanted to click. And that's what I want. Okay, 500. Okay. We can start adjusting it once we will be able to spawn that shit, right? So let's start spawning it. It should be... Oh my god, let me clean up a little bit here. Flame fully grown, that's what we needed. Or actually flame base. Because we'll be putting that functionality in our base, right? And yeah, wind interaction, event on wind interaction, mix in propagation direction, and also flame phase. Select. Wait, what the fuck is going on? That's not what I wanted. Oh my god, so... I'm blanking out right now. Wait, what the hell? That's what I wanted, okay. I had a brain fart. If it is fully grown, first branch, and we're branching hard in this shit. we're going like this. Okay, and let's feed my OCD. Oh no! I like those things tidy up. Yep. And if it is fully grown, that's when we will be. Spawn actor from class. And only one? Because it will do it only once, right? So that's not exactly how it should be done right now, because only on wind interaction, and on wind interaction is being called only on the overlap of my wind actor with something, right? So that's the wrong way of going about it. It should be on tick. I should like save the fact that our flame is being interacted with the wind. So I should probably create like a state variable b is wind affected, basically. I could probably deduce it from this, but no. No. And yeah. Wind affected is false. Correct. So we should just do it like set is wind affected. It is true. And we just detected another hole in our overall interaction design, which is BPI wind affected. What the fuck? BI wind affected. Okay. BI wind affected. On wind interaction, I need to add a function on wind interaction ended. Make writable, yes. Why? Because we also need to have an event when we stopped it interacting with the wind, right? So we will stop our flamethrower. So let's get back to like wind actor actually. On component. Oh wait, actually I'm using it in that way? What the fuck? That's weird. I don't really get it. What the flying fuck? Why on component overlap and I'm calling on wind interaction? With the actor forward vector, but I'm transforming it via and reversing. Ah, okay. I'm deleting my mixed in direction. Okay, so that's okay, but I have no information that it is actually ending. It is like, hey, I'm mixing in this, so maybe I should also call on wind direction ended, right? Because this actually, yeah, I can undo everything that I did with mixing wind direction, right? Because the way it works in my game is like this: wind actor interacts with the flame when it can still like be in growing phase, right? And it doesn't spark other flames right now. It doesn't try to propagate, and it has like 4 vectors: northwest, southeast, right? And 4 wind actors at the time or even more can overlap with my flame at the same time, and each time the overlap happens I'm supporting wind direction in it, right? And it gets mixed into already northwest, southeast directions, right? And by calling on wind interaction with like the reverse of the actor forward vectors, I can unmix my original wind, so I will get back to northeast, southwest, right? And because, you know, I could have 100 propellers at the same time with the different vectors overlapping with my goddamn flame actor, it's you know, my flame actor doesn't know what were the original. I can subtract each wind direction at a time, right? But I still don't know when the interaction ended. No, I have to rethink how I want to. I'm not sure if I really need on when the interaction ended. What I should do to know that the interaction ended is, yeah, let's make it writable. I might not need that right now when I'm thinking about that. Flame base. That's not that. Yeah, I might not need that. Instead, I actually try to detect whether no wind is interacting with me. And if no wind is interacting with me, then I'm not wind affected. If my directions of where I will propagate are non-north, south, east, west, and local space, then I am affected by wind, and then I can spawn something. Okay, all of that shit, adding more to toy boxes, to my toy box, more toys to toy box, will be happening on the next stream, which actually might be happening on Saturday next week. I think I said it on the last stream that my schedule right now looks like in such way that every month I will be, of course, doing Sunday streams if I can, but how it looks right now is I might be able to do like 3 Sunday streams, but one weekend I might have to do Saturday stream instead of Sunday stream. And that weekend will probably be the next one. I'll be doing a stream on Saturday at the same time as usual. But yeah, next stream will be probably Saturday, and the week after that will be most... Oh, actually no. No, wait a second. Actually, we might be going for 2 Saturdays in a row. Or something like that. Or maybe not. We'll see what will happen in 2 weeks. But next week, for sure, I'm making a stream on Saturday. And yeah, I think my time is up. I wanted to answer myself a question. Do I have enough toys in my toy box to create a sequence for a fully fledged level? And the answer is no. I need to get back to the toy making phase. And we are back to the toy making phase. We'll be making this flamethrower, awesome flamethrower, on next stream. And we'll be trying to figure out some more shit. So, without further ado, I hope you guys have a nice week. And I'm out. See you guys soon next week. This time on Saturday. So, bye guys.